Well, here we are at Political Fiction Theater, and you're probably wondering, what am I doing in the middle seat? Jim has always been the host of Political Fiction Theater. Mr. Lumpkin over here is where he generally is, and I'm Dr. Jorgen. Well, what we're talking about this evening is a sort of offshoot from Political Fiction Theater called Talking Racine. And Talking Racine deals with issues that affect our local community of Racine, Wisconsin. And I host that program, so I guess that's how I ended up in the middle here.
All right.
Or were we doing something else and we just didn't want to shift chairs?
Right. Yeah.
Could be either way. You got any comments about what our purpose is here, Ken?
I think that we use the statement that I've been hearing over the years about local government. All politics is local.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if people take an interest in their local government, that would give them a better understanding of how the national and state government work. And I think this is what we are doing. We're a small town of about, I would say, 76,000 people. We have a alderman type government where we have, 16, right?
15, I believe.
15
council members and the mayor.
And the mayor serves as chairman. And he pretty much oversee and to some extent control what happened in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And people tend to kind of be lazy and not really pay attention to what's going on. And that's when we step in and kind of bring some of the things that we feel is not proper in government, we bring it and make it known to the public.
You're not trying to claim that we're not lazy, are you? Because we're as laid back as the rest of you, but Jim, why don't you?
Well, you know what, I guess I go a
Sure.
little bit further even than that. You know, you're a little more, I mean, we're more muckrakers than anything, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, we're going to look at parts of the government that is not functioning correctly and probably hiding some of the issues from the general public. We're the ones that go in and get it, and we get aggressive with it sometimes, and I think it's necessary to keep a free society. And some of this is, you know, we're not looked upon sometimes as favorably, but I mean, you look across the country with Political Fiction Theater, and you can see kind of how bizarre it can get. And you know, I guess we kind of enjoy what we do in a way.
Well, yeah, it's fun, but it serves a purpose too.
Absolutely.
I mean, we depend on these elected officials and bureaucrats that hold positions of public trust and public service to maintain a functioning government that's a service to all the citizens. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, then it's up to the citizens to raise objections and shed some light on the situation, and that's pretty much what we do. And if you've been watching Political Fiction Theater, or if you've watched Talking Racine, I'm sure that you recognize things that we've been exposing that are present in your community as well. And that's a big part of what we're up to, is we want everybody to become empowered with the ability to monitor their government and make sure that it's functioning in a way that's in service to all the citizens, not just a few.
One of the things I suggest is that, you know, throughout the country, communities that they can actually do what we are doing. They can look at their government. They can look at the things that they're doing good, positive, if they want to show those, and they can also look at the things that we consider in many cases being negative. But those are the things that, I mean, when you investigate your local government, you have to look under all the rocks.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Well, and there's
Kick
certain
those
ways
rocks
of doing
up, you
it.
don't know what's going to crawl out.
Yeah, and one of the things that one of the main tools for lifting those rocks is open records.
Correct.
You know, I mean, there's a Freedom of Information law in the United States of America, which means that any public records should be accessible to the public. So that's one way of finding out what's going on, which might not be visible typically to the public through the newspaper or regular media. You know,
There's a lot of communities like ours out there, and you know, if you ever need any kind of assistance, I think we're all willing to help. You know, because this is something we've done for a number of years, and we've only recently brought this to the, to Roku, I guess, or YouTube and the rest of it. But, and we bring on guests here at Talking Racine, and you can kind of get a feel of how we do it. Our issues are obviously different than your issues, but you can see the method that, and where we're looking, how we're looking, and the avenues that we kind of challenge. And, I think Ken said it, our really local government is where, you get a better understanding of how, and I always say, how does this happen at state and federal levels? But we see some of these.
Well, I think we serve as an example to the rest of the country too, that in order to have something like this where you're doing a public presentation, which is essentially television, and I think you guys are probably a better example of this than I am, that you don't really have to be good looking to be on television.
Yeah, it isn't our pretty faces that are getting us there.
One of the things my son always talk about is local government, and that's where, you as an individual, you can have the greatest impact, in your local municipality, So, that's why I suggested that cities kind of emulate what we are doing, and you can actually make a difference.
Yeah,
It
and don't
is.
believe the old adage, you can't fight City Hall. First
Right.
off, City Hall shouldn't be picking fights with the citizens, and you can fight back in the open records.
You can
that are-
fight back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's a rough battle, but you can fight back.
If you don't fight back, you're just going to get flat out,
Right.
get your butt kicked. So you might as well stand up and do something about
Right.
it.
So we got some episodes, and we're going to start linking them up on our Political Fiction Theater channel, and we hope you enjoy them. And we've all that information is going to be there. You can contact us. You can look up on the screen and get our email. You want to send us an email. You want to find out a little bit more about what we're doing or how we do it. You're welcome to it.
Yeah, and give us some feedback. I mean, we try to keep this enjoyable. It's not always material that's fun or interesting. Sometimes it's frightening and disturbing, but send us your feedback. Let us know how you feel about this. In some ways, that maybe we can improve it,
Yeah.
and we'll carry that message out to everybody else. So, thanks for your time. Hope to hear from you soon. Keep watching.